Hello Twitter world, it's me, yours truly. Now today I wanted to talk about the MSA Millennium. Right here, I have two MSA Millenniums. Now this is the first generation MSA Millennium. As you can see here, it has this little nub here. The newer ones are very flat to accommodate for this VPU. It's called the ESP2. Honestly, not my favorite VPU that I've ever had. I'd say that the Avon FM53, I believe it's called, well, the VPU for the M50 that I have, that one is as clear as day. This one is kind of muffled, but I'll get on that in a bit. So, what I like about the MSA Millennium is that they are really cheap. You can usually pick one up for about $150, it's most expensive, and about $100 about its cheapest. Maybe $75 depending on its condition. But you can mostly find these on eBay, OfferUp, just your local salesperson might have one. But another thing that I really like is how cheap the outserts are. The outserts are good for airsoft. I've had these just pelted with BBs all day, and the only thing that they would get is like a little ding mark or whatever. I don't know if you can see that, but those little white dots are where the airsoft BBs would hit. I've never cracked any of these. I think the worst I've ever done is scratch the shit out of it with my stocks because I had it carabinered onto my hip, and then I had my gun kind of accidentally just wipe across the front of it. Wasn't a good time. Wasn't a very smart move. But now let's touch on the VPU. So I did mention I don't really like this VPU, but without it I still wouldn't really function that well in my team. So this is what it sounds like with the VPU. This is what it sounds like without the VPU. And as you can notice, it's not too much of a difference, but yeah, I mean, it still helps. And it's not very helpful when it comes to your Peltors. I even got the chin extender. If you're gonna run gas mask builds, make sure you have a CBurn extender so that you're not just choking yourself with how small the strap is. So what I don't like is that my Peltor mic, even though it's right up on the VPU, even without a gas mask, I can have my mic just all the way out here, and I can still pick it up. But for some reason, it just does not like to get picked up by my Peltors at all. I have heard of a throat mic that Peltor does make that you could just plug into here, and then you could just wrap it around your throat, and it'll pick up the vibrations of what's coming out through there. In my experience, throat mics are just kind of ass, but I mean, this one, it was about $200, so hopefully for that price it would work. I have yet to buy one, and if I do, I'll make a video about it. I haven't seen anyone make a video about it. I don't know even if they sound good, but yeah, no, $200 are the cheapest. I think I'll have to wait for next Christmas on that one. So, how do these do with nods? I'd say they do alright. I don't really like how, as you can see here, they kind of touch. And as you're running around and as you're putting your nods up and down and up and down, you're gonna cause a lot of scratching because these are polycarbonate, and polycarbonate are very prone to scratching. So I would say it's functional, but not as good as the M50, where you could tell it's kind of designed around night vision goggles and that capability of having your gas mask mixed with your night vision. But also, you can't see it, but I'm fogging up like crazy right now. And I kind of can't run this on a regular game without a PAPR unit just powering air and just cleaning out my mask of all this mist. I noticed that the last 2 games of the day, if I go to any game with this, I have to take the mask off if I didn't bring my PAPR unit. And it's just, I don't know, the M50 didn't really fog to that extent where it just fogs so quickly. It does fog at the last two games like this one does, but this one seems to start fogging very early on, just like kind of creeping in. But I do like its ergonomics. Now let me show you what I mean. So for the M50 and most other gas masks, they're really bulky. This one is very slick, and I do play with no filter on if I'm playing like with my MSA Millennium. I don't like to have a filter there, just in case I need to do a little left-handing, you know. And I just like how slick it is. Sometimes I don't really like having a big bulky mask like the M50, but other than that, I can't really say any other benefits because I can't speak on its ability to stop me from getting killed by chemical agents because, let's face it, I'm an Airsoft player, not an actual C-burn specialist, so no one's ever tossed a Zyklon and B at me before. So, you know, if a real chemical attack does happen, I'm just gonna hope that I'll be ready for it. Thank you, and have a nice one.